Hello and welcome back to the Lime Tree Sessions podcast with me, Jack Milcreast.
Linda Fulskirt.
Scott Charlton.
And joining us this week is, once again, our guest Sophie Purvis, and all the way from New Jersey, it's Alex Williams, the producer!
Woo! And we were playing Best Fest with Pete Best.
All You Need Is Love.
He was there when they wrote All You Need Is Love. See, he looked like someone had glazed him. We slept with each other for 3 nights.
Hello guys, you alright? You alright? How you doing? Nice to hear from you.
I know, it's canny. Well, I say nice to hear from you. I speak to you every day on FaceTime.
Well, I mean, I meant the rest of you, to be honest. But.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's sick of you, Jack.
It's at the point where, like
I get to listen to Jack speaking to Alex every day on FaceTime.
wait, the other day, I went downstairs and I think you had just left to go home, Soph. And I went, right, my girlfriend's left. I got to go ring my boyfriend now.
I actually can't remember the last time I came to Jack's house and I didn't hear Alex's voice on the phone.
Yeah, we talk a lot.
That's because he's got
Well,
it recorded and he just plays it through the house.
Well, to be fair, last night I was on the phone with Jack or yesterday, and I heard his Mac binging, and I was like, that's probably Sophie. You should probably go check what she needs because you've been on the phone with me for 2 hours. So.
Yeah, and it was saying.
I said, is everyone all right?
Yeah.
I haven't heard from you.
Like, I should have a code word from now on that I just type the code word. Just to say,
You need
like,
a safe word to get away from him.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant more like a code word for I'm on the phone to Alex. Should just put Alex Williams. I'll put Williams. There you go.
Oh yeah, that's dead obscure. Yeah, nice.
You just put
secret code word in chat.
But for those of you who don't know, Alex Williams is let me get this right because you don't like a certain word. You are a producer and cinematographer and have pretty much done everything. All of my music, you've helped us produce a lot of the all of the videos remotely and in person. You've done basically everything.
Well, I've basically become your babysitter and full-time manager, really, which is a bit beyond my payroll, if I'm being quite honest. But
yeah, fair enough. Well, you know, at least I didn't call you a videographer because you don't like that.
No, I don't like that. It sounds too amateurish. I don't like videographers are the kind of people who make like vlogger content and stuff.
Oi, what are you talking about? I vlog all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing wrong with that, Joe.
Nothing wrong
with that.
Yeah, but you wouldn't brand yourself as a professional photographer, though, would you? You're a musician who happens to video himself. It's a different segment, you know.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
That's why I don't like it, because when I say videographer, people think that's what you do, and I'm like, no, that's not what I do. I do like the real stuff.
The real stuff.
All the
stuff.
videographers right now are just fuming.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they can come at me if they'd like, but
yeah,
they're not going to win.
Be a hell of a fight. Like you know.
You need long arms.
I was going to say long arms. Yeah.
I know, right? I'll have a good letter for warning, like 7 hours before you can get to me. So.
To be able to fight at MSG though, that'd be pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, good luck getting in and out. It's massive, so good luck finding me. Like 70,000 a week.
So this is kind of the point where we talk about this weekend's gigs. Alex, unfortunately, you may lack ever so slightly on this part of the segment.
Yeah, I was in a pool all weekend. I didn't do now.
Oh, well, there you go. There's Alex's 2 cents. So anyway, gigs this weekend. It was bank holiday weekend this weekend.
It was.
So all of us were chock-a-block. So
certainly were.
I think we should start this side. Your weekend was way more interesting. So I think we'll start this side and we'll go.
Okay, cool.
Like least interesting to interesting, I think. So
fair enough.
On Friday, I was at TGI Fridays. Got a little residency there. I think I've mentioned it before. So it was at TGI Fridays. On Saturday, I was doing a classic car show at
I remember you saying
Ushamua, which was very cool. And then on the night time of that, I was at a place called The Mount, which is like an old converted church hall and sound like a community centre. But they watch all with videos. So we're going to do some videos there, hopefully, which would be pretty cool. And then on Sunday, I was at the Northumberland Arms in Bedlington for Bedfest, which was fantastic.
Bedfest.
It was good. It was a good laugh. It's a nice little pub. I'm actually playing the owner's son's wedding next month, so that'll be really cool.
Nice one.
Just to check, it's called Bedfest.
Yes.
But it's not like an orgy. It's just a free festival.
Do you know, when you said it, I thought...
It does sound a bit...
What is... Oh, Bedlington.
Bedlington, yes. But
so it's Bedfest in Bedlington.
Yes,
right,
it's
so
not
they're all
like
just swingers, basically.
Yeah.
You know,
like, it's not DFS having a sale, you know what I mean? Like, so.
I see.
Sophie,
Just
yourself?
checking.
I had 5 this week. I had Stack Seaburn on Friday, a wedding in Alnwick, Doxford Bonds on Saturday.
Yep.
another wedding in Hartlepool on Sunday. Did a village festival in Crook on Monday, and then last night I was South Cozy for another wedding. So very busy weekend.
That is very busy.
No.
Am I allowed to say what the boy said on the microphone at Hartlepool? Is that
You can. We
Yeah.
can edit it out if it
is,
was not.
is that okay? So
Set the scene.
it's a club in Hartlepool at a wedding.
Say no more.
But it was
Yes.
it was a wedding at a club.
At a club.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Well, I think they got
where was
married
it,
in
in
a
Hartlepool?
church.
Yeah.
Hartlepool, yeah.
This is like that after do, and the bride had a little brother, and I think he was about 12. I feel like Alex will like this because he's done this before. But he got up on the mic.
Where's this going?
Bedfest.
No, but he.
I was going to say, don't go out on me too early in the show. So.
No, he was like 11 or 12, and he said, "Can I make a speech? Can I make a speech to the DJ?" And he was like, "Of course you can." The DJ was like in his 70s, and I was expecting like a really heartfelt speech, and he got everyone to be quiet, and then he just went, "Can I get a Hoya?"
Oh, no way.
And the entire place just went Hoya. And I was just oh no, this is just awful.
In a club in Hartlepool.
To be fair, I would have just knighted him on the spot. That'd be the best kind of speech.
That was my wedding with my brother.
Your wedding? No, I'm not at our wedding. Can you imagine?
No.
My brother coming up like, can I get a Hoya?
I'd disown him.
I
I'd
see.
not my brother-in-law no more.
Actually, it won't be my brother. It'll be Alex.
It will be. Alex isn't invited to
He'll
the
be
wedding.
taking the pictures and then like you'll lower the camera and go, can I get a Hoya?
If you
I'd
told
be
me I
really
could
mad.
do that, Jack, at your wedding, I would easily fly
Oh,
the
it's
7
happening.
hours.
It's
I'd have to
happening,
get
isn't
there.
it?
I really don't
I'd
want
turn
it
up
to
and be in the
happen.
corner just going, tell me when. Tell me when.
Yeah, that was my weekend. But from now on, I've got pretty much 3 weekends.
Are you finished now?
I am finished. Yeah, I'm officially finished with Emerald Thieves now, so I've got a bit more time. I'm going to be doing some depths with them, and
Yeah, you
other
can-
bits and pieces. So
You can finally listen to the records that Jack bought you.
yes, that's another story.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll put that in a different segment. So, the interesting bit. Your guys' weekend.
It's been
It's been a cool
Oh,
weekend.
it's been a long weekend. Do you want to start?
It's aye.
Go on then.
It's we started on Friday in Berkshire, wasn't it? Or Hungerford, which is sort of just off from Berkshire, in a Warner hotel, which was this old Grade 1 listed hotel. I think Henry VIII stopped there, or he courted which of his wives was it?
Jane Seymour.
Jane Seymour there. It was really cool, like massive building, loads of cool bit here, and there was actually a haunted room, wasn't there? We went in. It was one of those haunted rooms sort of thing where they've got like mannequins set up and that.
Well, they didn't tell us about the mannequins, so that scared the shit out of her. He walked into the room, there's these two that's got the fright of my life when I walked in.
I had good fun looking around like
It was a nice building. It had been like in the English Civil War. It's where the
Right.
D-Day battles were planned and stuff like that. It was a beautiful building out in Wiltshire. But no, it was good. That was a good
That was a
gig.
good gig, yeah. A Warner hotel gig.
And then we drove from there to Worcester on that night.
I were hoping to get a hotel room in the Warner Hotel in Berkshire, but they didn't have any left. So we had to, luckily we'd booked a hotel in Worcester halfway back.
It broke up the journey because we were in Liverpool the next day. Now, this is the interesting gig.
Do you want to circle back to that? Because it's like the cool...
Yeah, we can do. Okay, so we were in Liverpool on Saturday. On Saturday night, we drove straight to Derby because we were in Derby the next day. And we played a social club in Derby, which I can't remember the name or something. Jubilee?
Chaddiston Jubilee Club,
Yeah, something
wasn't
like that. We were told they really looked after bands,
All right.
which was so it's like, oh, here we go. But we got there. You know how you get, sometimes you get to a club and you can't tell which door you need to load in
Yeah.
because all the doors look the same. This one said stage door on the door.
great.
Wow.
We got in, they offered us teas and coffees. She took our name and where we're from, looked
Wow.
after us all night. It was great. They even bought some CDs at the end.
I had to
Cracking.
do
We were
it.
packing down and they had us playing, which was really weird. I was like, oh, God. But, and then Monday,
Maggie Bank.
we drove back from there to the Maggie Bank, which was a long
It was on the
well over
Mon-
1,000 miles
yeah.
this weekend.
Yeah.
By the Maggie Bank gig. Always wicked in it. And it was just, I think it's the most packed I've ever seen it.
It was very
Do you
busy
reckon it was?
and very warm.
Yeah, it was very warm. But
Not as warm as Saturday.
No.
yes, that brings us nicely onto Saturday.
Nice segue.
Isn't it? Yes. We were playing the Casbah Coffee Club in Liverpool, which is where the Beatles started before they played the Cavern. And we were playing Best Fest with Pete Best, who's the Beatles' original drummer. And we were in the basement of the Casbah, which can't be more than about 5 meters square.
Yeah.
And the ceiling's sort of like 6 inches above me. It's really,
Yeah.
really short.
Linen's quite tall for people.
Yeah,
at
and
home,
it's so... How warm was
The
it?
warmest gig we've ever done, definitely.
Honestly.
Times 2, times 3.
I knew it was
looked
warm.
like it was outside. Or like
There-
on
there was-
the,
there was-
it's
Definitely
weird.
inside.
I know,
Oh,
but
aye.
on the pictures it looks like it's
Oh,
outside.
does it? Oh, because the wooden sort
Yeah,
of
yeah, I
background.
thought
I
it
see
was
what you
like-
mean.
I wish it was outside. It
But-
would have been a...
They do have an outside section because obviously in the basement you can go straight out into the garden where they had like stuff like seats and stuff so you could sit out because obviously inside the basement's tiny so you can't. And there was thousands of people there, wasn't there?
Oh, it was
You couldn't get
ridiculous.
them all in there. And when P Best eventually went on at the end of the night, they did it like 2 45-minute sets, but it wasn't different songs. It was the identical set
They
twice,
did
so
2
you
sets
could
the
get
same.
people out and put new ones in, sort of thing.
Got like a rotation kind
Yeah.
of thing. Wow.
They need to because it was just too many people there. But
Fair enough.
We got to meet him in the end, and
we did. We got a photo with him.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was cool.
Was he nice?
So,
Oh, he was...
he's
really
shy. He is. He's shy.
Really?
Yeah.
Really timid.
Wow.
And we got to meet Tony Crane as well, which is cool.
On the Mersey beats.
Yeah.
He's got some of the best stories. We were just sitting upstairs in the Casbah. Everyone else was downstairs listening to Pete Best. We were just sitting, just staring at Tony Crane, listening
Tell
to
us
all the-
stuff.
telling me things of the 60s.
Wow.
But no, that was really cool.
He was talking about like Eric Clapton being there when the wrote
He
All
was,
You Need Is
yeah,
Love.
he was there when they wrote All You Need Is Love.
Do you know the TV
No way.
television, like the show thing where they had the cards
Yes.
with the stuff on it? He was there.
Wow.
He was just
Pretty
telling
unreal.
stories of sort of Paul.
Being
And
there, the Who when they were on tour because they were supporting the Who, the Mersey Beats, and they were having like jokes with Keith Moon and all that. They tried to get their own back on Keith Moon, and when they were playing, obviously they came up from behind the stage and they pulled him down off his drum kit whilst the Who were playing. They dragged him back into one of the back rooms and put him in an ice bath whilst the Who are playing.
No way.
It's some pretty cool stories, isn't it?
Wow.
I think he's doing a book soon, so
Nice.
all the stories are going to be in that. They're doing a film as well, a documentary, aren't they, on Mersey Beat in general? And I
Yeah.
think he's in it quite a bit. So
he's a very interesting man to sit down. We were there, I don't know how long we were there for. The time
Yeah.
just flew by. And the next thing
Couple of
we were
hours,
saying,
maybe?
oh, it's 1 o'clock. We should really go.
Wow.
So it was a very long day. We got
It
there
was,
at 3-ish.
3, 4.
Yeah, 3-4 o'clock, and left at 1 in the morning.
Wow.
We were just there all day. It was fantastic. But I knew it was warm because I don't normally sweat that much when I'm playing.
Sure.
And I had beads of sweat running down my face. I thought Rob gets the hottest out
Yeah,
of all
Rob
of us.
always
And I
does.
thought I can't look at Rob because I'll laugh.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine what. And I looked over, and honestly, he looked like someone had glazed him. It was unbelievable. He just looked at us. He was like,
But of course, you stand up now.
I do stand up now.
So, and I've heard you've been busting some moves.
Oh yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
wait to see these
He
moves.
has.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come back and see the new preamps.
I've been trying to move around because otherwise I would just stand still. There,
Yeah,
do
yeah.
anything.
So wait, Lyndon stitched the stool, has he?
I have. I
He
stand up
has
now.
indeed.
Oh,
No,
my
it wasn't my
goodness me.
choice, but you know,
You enjoy it though, don't you?
I do.
You
I
said
do
you
enjoy
prefer
it.
it.
I do actually.
You got
prefer it.
you got peer pressured into it, did
Yeah,
you?
I do prefer it though. To be fair, it's sort of
Gives you.
It looks-
saves me back.
It looks like you're in like some like 80s synth band now, though.
That's
It looks like you're
that's
in the Human
only
League.
thing.
The tapestry saves it a little bit,
It does.
Yeah.
I.
but no, it saves me back because I always sort of hunch over when I'm playing
Yeah.
the keys, and now I can't.
It makes
I've got
sense
to-
that you can get more into it, really, if you're standing
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
can't
yeah.
you?
Definitely. I wish we could stand up, Sophie.
I would, you know.
Actually, I've seen a drummer that does it.
I've
He's
done it once
Scottish.
because I forgot my snare stand.
All right.
So like I set it up like on a table.
Really?
It was like so it was on like a milk crate on top of a table, and then I stood up and played at the same time and played like a bass drum. So I just had
Yeah,
hi hat
yeah.
and snare drum, but it was really fun.
Sounds it, yeah. There's a drummer from Glasgow, I think he does it. I can't remember which band he plays for. I'll have to try and get him up. I'll show you later. But he does it like, obviously, do you know Slaves, the band?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you know, there's a guitar and then the drums, it's sort of like massive floor tom, massive snare drum. It's sort of a bit like that, which is pretty cool.
I wish I could stand and play. It's increasingly difficult.
But I prefer standing now. But yeah, we had a good weekend. We
Oh,
were
it was
practicing
unreal.
on the Thursday as well. So
Oh,
actually,
we
we,
were.
we had the full day Thursday from what was it, 3 till
Till-
9ish,
yeah.
something. Like 6 hours of
Are
practice.
you all still friends?
Yeah,
Just
it's-
about.
It's honestly, we slept with each other for 3 nights.
That's the podcast title. There we go.
You've got the
that's
title.
segment.
You had to say it.
That's
Lennon,
a
didn't
segment.
you?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But honestly, we were kicking. It was like basically like we were doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday for like 5 days on the trot, like what you did. It was like,
Yeah.
He's ready to say something.
yeah, we'll go.
Was
Come
this
on,
it?
Alex.
I was going to say, was this also in Bedlington or was this somewhere else?
Bedfest.
Many cities, many cities.
Different cities.
Many
Yeah.
cities, they're doing like a tour.
We'll always have Liverpool. It's time for
What are you listening to?
Okay, so what are you listening to? Alex Williams in New Jersey.
So I've got two things I'm listening to at the moment, really. One is a new guy who I hate to admit that I found a musician on TikTok, but I did. I found a musician on TikTok. A guy called Steven Sanchez. He's an American singer-songwriter, and you might have heard this song going around TikTok at the moment. It's called Until I Found You. It's like a really romantic kind of track. I don't know how much people go on TikTok with it. I know Jack does, but I'm not sure about everybody else. But yeah, he writes. He's kind of like an old soul. He writes the kind of music that you could imagine being played in a 70s, 80s diner. It's very older style kind of ballad music, but it's obviously made now, so it's quite technical. Like in terms of his production, it's very atmospheric, and there's a lot of like surround sounds and stuff going on. He has an EP out already, which was really good, which I went to go listen to. But his new album's just dropped like a week ago, so I've just been listening through that really, and it's very relaxing music. It's music that lifts the soul, is how I would describe it. It's very pretty.
What's the album called, Alex?
The album is called Easy on My Eyes by Steven Sanchez.
Nice.
That's pretty good. The EP that he put out before that is better than the album, in my opinion, which is called What Was Not Now. And it's like an EP, and the cover photo's like a couple underwater in a pool. It's some of it's really sad. Like some of it's like the lyrics are really like deep and dark, like about mental health and stuff like that. But it's beautiful. And the end of the EP is like this 1 minute instrumental string and piano track. It's
That sounds nice.
very nice. I think Sophie would like it. Probably not Jack's thing, because Jack doesn't like music that has a meaning. But I think Sophie would like it.
Yes and no.
So does it
Depends.
sound like anyone else you've heard before? Like, is there another artist you can?
In terms of like a reference, that's something I can't really pinpoint an exact artist, because I don't really listen to that kind of stuff often enough to have other artists that I would have linked it to that I personally know. I'm sure there are, but I don't know them. Like I said, the only way I could describe it as is it sounds like the kind of music that would get played in like Stranger Things / 13 Reasons Why. It's kind of like that old style of songwriting that they used to do a lot in like the sort of the 80s, where it was all that kind of pretty ballad stuff, but made with modern production techniques, so it sounds crisp and clean.
Modern
very
retro.
good.
On that end, yeah.
It's an oxymoron in itself, isn't it?
Absolutely. Sophie, what have you been listening to?
So I've been on a bit of a in an Elton John phase at the minute.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. I've just been fancying it. But I've decided my favourite Elton John song is Benny and the Jets.
I agree.
It's been on repeat.
It's great.
That was going to be my question, because I was like, I wanted to know what everyone else's favourite Elton John song was. Because I've decided it's Benny and the Jets.
It's not my favourite, but it's one of my favourites.
I don't like it.
My most
No?
enjoyable one is Hello Hello that he wrote for that Romeo and Juliet film. I can't believe he wrote that banger for an awful animated film.
That was
but
like
it's
the
a
most
good song.
Alex answer ever.
No, me and
No, but however, though, it's an absolute I'm not saying it's his best, I'm saying it's his most enjoyable.
All right.
I don't know if I like Benny and
I
the
don't.
Jets.
I don't
It's
like it. It's so annoying.
like
Nah.
Apparently we're
if I
wrong.
was listening, because
I like it.
I do think, okay, well, my favorite Elton John song is "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road," and if I was listening to the album in full, I would listen to it. I wouldn't skip it, but I wouldn't choose to put Benny and the Jets on.
Right.
But Goodbye, he did an
No, I'm not a
album
fan.
a few years ago. I think it was called Revamp, and it was all these artists
Yes.
covering
Yeah.
his songs. And Queens of the Stone Age did an unreal version of "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road." It's really
Alright.
good.
Yeah,
so that would be my answer.
It is a good album.
Alright.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
wicked. Favorite Elton John. I like "Don't Go Breaking My Heart."
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
There's a show.
Oh,
And
it's
also
just very
like
upbeat and.
Honky Cat as well.
You're romantic, Lyndon, are you?
Oh yeah, totally.
he's actually got a song I really like, which I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I genuinely like because it's a bit depressing. I genuinely actually really like the song though. It's called "I Think I'm Gonna Kill Myself," and it's
Keep
actually,
it light, Jack.
but like the song is really happy, but the lyrics are really sad, like really sad.
Yeah.
It's on that Honky Cat album.
All right.
It's actually a very good song.
I'll have to have a listen.
I've not listened to enough Elton John. I mean, I can probably be
Is it,
pretty
do you have a
simple
favorite?
and
Do you
say
have a favorite song?
Tiny Dancer.
Yeah, I like Tiny Dancer.
Have you heard?
I mean, I don't listen to enough, but that's probably my favourite.
Tim McGraw's version. Tim McGraw covered
Right.
Tiny Dancer. and
I
it's
can
really,
imagine
really
that'd be good.
All right.
Tim McGraw. I like Tim McGraw. He's cool.
I like
So-
Crocodile Rock as well. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. to be fair.
It's a bit
because
gimmicky,
I
though,
really
innit?
want to watch. I really want to rewatch Rocket Man, and I think that's why. So then I've just been listening to the music
No,
because
I've
it's
not
been
seen
took
it
off
yet.
Netflix instead.
Have you not?
No, I've not seen
It's
Rocket
so
Man.
theatrical.
It is.
It's really
very
good.
Good.
Just watch it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it is. It's
I
worth a
I
think-
watch.
wanted to, like, after watching the Elvis one, I want to watch Rocket Man one.
Definitely worth a watch.
I think I like it for the reasons Jack doesn't like it. So it really depends on the person.
It grew on me.
Right.
When I saw it in the cinemas, I was like, this is like, you can tell Elton John wrote this, you know what I mean? Because like it's just so jazz hands and glitzy and glam and over the top.
I do
and
feel like Alex would like Rocket Man though, because
Have you seen Rocket
it's
Man,
that
Alex?
kind of film.
What, the film?
Yeah.
Of course
No.
you have, haven't you?
You
You have
haven't?
not? Do you like me?
I haven't seen it. I've seen. Yeah, no, I haven't seen the film. No.
But I think you would like it.
I probably would. I'm strangely not that into Elton John. I know it's probably gonna like freak everybody out, but like I don't. I like him. Like whenever I listen to him, I enjoy it. But do you know when there's like the problem with older artists for me is that whenever you discover one and you think, oh, I'm gonna listen to this artist, because they're old, their back catalogue's massive. So it's such like a daunting task to go and find the good
Yeah.
stuff. But I just never get round to doing it. It's like when you want to watch a new Netflix series, but it has like 12 seasons, and you're like, is it worth starting at this point? I'm so far behind. Like, that's what I feel like with Elton John.
All right.
Like, I'm just, I love him, and he's funny. Like, I kind of forgot about him for a little while. And then the only reason I stopped listening to him again is because he was in a film. It was the second
Or Kingsman.
the second Kingsman movie.
Yeah.
When he's in
He's
that,
in
and he's
Kingsman.
hilarious.
He's
and I
sort
was
of
like, oh, good old Elton John.
kidnapped in Kids.
All right.
It's a really weird thing. It's
because
worth a watch.
Is it because of Taron that he's in that?
It's a really funny
Possibly,
movie, and Elton John is just like unhinged in it. Like they clearly just let him say whatever he wanted
That's
in
also
the movie.
the film series I've not watched either.
Kingsman.
Nah.
They're really good.
Oh, Kingsman's unbelievable. The new one, The Kingsman, the prequel with Ralph, whatever his name is, the guy who plays Voldemort.
Ralph Fiennes.
Great movie. It's a prequel. It's not as good as the main ones. It's completely separate. It's from before the originals, but they are making one final of the normal ones with Colin Firth and stuff in it, which I think is going to be coming in the next couple of years.
Nice.
They're amazing movies. They got like some of the best fight scenes you'll ever see. Like they're dead funny.
Right, Lyndon, what about you?
Well, I went to a gig last night
Nice.
to see a band called The Avalons,
Yes.
and they've got 2 singles out. They've only got a few things out, but I was listening to them a couple of days before I went to see. So they've got a song called Setting Suns,
Yeah.
which is their latest single. So I've been listening to that. But
Very nice.
they're a nice bunch of lads, local lads. They actually supported Kieran
Yes.
when we went to go see him there.
Yeah.
So, but no, it was a good gig, and
Very good. Scott, what have you been listening to?
I've been listening to someone called Madison Cunningham. I don't know if anyone's
Okay.
heard of her.
I think you might
She's
have
an
mentioned
American
it before.
artist. She's this folk rock artist. She's like the sort of new Joni Mitchell.
Right.
If anyone else
That's
is a
cool.
fan of Joni
I
Mitchell.
am.
She's a really cool artist. I'm actually quite a bit obsessed with her at the moment.
Nice.
But she's brought out these singles, which is going to be an album later on in the year. And there's one song in particular called Life According to Rachel. And it's just fucking mint. It's a mint song. And do you know that tiny desk that we were talking about last time? Well, she did one of those recently, and I've watched that back to back. So go and listen to her.
When you said Joni Mitchell, it just reminds me of that scene in Love Actually.
I've
When-
never seen Love
No, I've
Actually.
not
have
seen
you
it
not?
either.
No.
Oh, it's the best movie ever.
That's your favourite film.
I highly doubt it is the best movie ever, though.
Oh,
Jack, is it?
it's got everybody in it. It's amazing.
Is that if you want to make Jack cry? You cry at the opening scene every single time we put it
If I
on.
hear the music,
Really?
I start to cry. Honestly,
Jack, you
yeah.
cry at Love Actually.
Oh, it's brilliant. Honestly, you don't knock it till you've tried it.
So, Jack, what have you been listening to?
Well, Alex, I've got a new favorite country artist. Country's my favorite genre, and I've been listening to a girl called Alana Springsteen. No relation to Bruce, but
Oh,
There,
nice.
there might be somewhere down the line.
Oh, yes.
somewhere down the line, possibly. But she's class. She's released. I wouldn't call them albums because one's 7-track and one is 8-track.
Sort of like extended EPs.
Extended EPs, yeah. But she's released 2 albums in the past couple of years, and it's like a 2-parter. So they're called History of Breaking Up Part 1 and Part 2. And they're just full of bangers. Like, it's absolutely class. Like, the production on it is really, really good. Like, the drums and the guitars just sound massive. And, like, it's got that kind of, like, you know when you listen to pop music and, like, the bass is just, like,
Everywhere.
it's great. It's so good. But But I actually had a second answer for this, which I have been listening to this as well, but I wanted to mention this because we're hopefully going to get her on here at some point. So our friend Elizabeth Little has just released her debut EP called Somewhere.
She has,
And it's
yes.
actually mint. Like, I've had
It
it on
is
in the
nice,
car.
aye.
It's really great. Like, the production's great. She recorded it at Ginger Music up here in Newcastle. A smattering of guests on it. It's absolutely brilliant. It's kind of like she's definitely trying to be a bit like Joni Mitchell, like Carole King, all those Fleetwood Mac, that kind of 70s cool vibe.
Yeah.
The songwriting is amazing. Her voice is just, I mean, you've filmed her. It's
Yes.
just amazing, you
She's
know.
a very good singer.
But we're hoping on to have her here at some point.
We
We're
are.
just trying to organise a date. So she'll probably play one of the songs off her EP, and then we'll do some kind of cover or something like. But I just wanted to mention it because it's genuinely very good, and she's a local artist. And we're, as much as we talk about ELO and things like that,
Do I mention it that much?
Yes.
I've never noticed.
You might just a bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little
as much
bit.
as we talk about ELO and country music, like we want to try and promote some local artists on here, like so. So yeah, Elizabeth Little, Somewhere. Go check it out. Okay, so it's now time for
The Lime Tree Time Machine.
Lime Tree Time Machine. So, Alex, this is the segment that we usually ask our guests. We asked Soph last week because Soph was on our podcast last week. Basically, if you had a time machine, where and when would you go? And as an extended question as well, if there was a key moment, we've kind of based it around gigs more than anything else. So, like, I think one of us has said Woodstock, would want to go see Woodstock, or would want to go see the
Live
Beatles
Aid.
or Live Aid, stuff like that. If you go back in time, forward in time, when and where, what would you want to see? Go.
Ooh. So you're saying you usually base it around gigs and music. So
That's up to you, though.
well, not to kind of like cop out, but one of my answers for if I was to give a music answer, it would be Live Aid.
Yeah.
Purely because I'm a Queen fan. For anything else, like just for that. Like I don't really listen to that much classic rock. Most of the other people who played that day, I probably wouldn't even be bothered about. It's literally just so I could see that Queen performance because, like,
That's
my
iconic,
dad,
innit?
growing up, my dad made me listen to a bunch of classic rock, and he listens to a bunch of stuff that I can't stand, and a bunch of like old music because he's an old man now. Have like, his biggest thing is the Beatles, and I can't stand them. So
Get out!
like,
Oh, Alex.
Get
so-
out!
I think
So,
the friendship is
well, I
ended.
see-
See you in America.
I say I can't stand them. I can't stand three of them. Lennon was the genius, but the rest were just kind of going along for the ride. And I've always kind of not really engaged with him much music-wise for that reason. But he got me listening to Queen when I was quite young, and so I've always kind of wanted to go see them. But obviously, being born when we were like 1998, it wasn't an option to go see them in their original form. I did go see them twice on the Queen and Adam Lambert tours, both times, and it was amazing. It was like nice to see that he wasn't trying to impersonate Freddie, he was doing his own thing. Just seeing Brian May at one point during the first tour, he was like floating through the sky with lasers, playing a guitar solo in a metallic cape, like
As you
traditional
do.
Brian May. So it's like to have gone and seen them like in that prime. I say that prime, Freddie wasn't doing too good, but as close as the height that they got to, but before everything went downhill and he got really ill, that would by far take the cake for musical moment for me. If I could go anywhere, it would be Live Aid.
Very good answer. Very good answer.
I
See-
just loved Lyndon's face with "I hate the Beatles." I've never seen eyes wider before in my life.
I know you can't see
Well,
this,
like,
Alex, but he was fuming.
It's like they always
And
say,
rightly
Ringo
so.
wasn't even the best drummer in the band. Like, never mind the best drummer in the world.
he was.
Like, it's you know what I mean?
Paul's a
Like,
good drummer.
Paul's a great drummer.
they've got like 4 or 5 amazing songs, and I love those 4 or 5 amazing songs. But then like most of their albums, especially when they went down the whole Yellow Submarine route, it kind of just started to get a bit messy. And like I've
I
watched
like
their
it.
la-
It's the worst side of the Beatles. If you had to pick a worst side, it's a
Yeah.
bit weird, but I still like it.
It's very weird. Like don't get me wrong, I loved what they did for the industry, and like I watched their that recording of them playing at the Hollywood Bowl back in the '60s and stuff in LA. Amazing. Like they had a great stage presence, and I love what they did for the industry. And I think for the time they were amazing because they were the first ever. Everyone calls them the first ever rock band. But I feel like playing them now even amongst other classic music, the songwriting for me, I know this was part of what made them catchy, but for me, the songwriting's too simple on a lot of their songs. And the ones that aren't simple are mainly the ones that Lennon did the most of the work on. And that's why I like a lot of his solo stuff as well that he managed to get done before he got knocked off. So
It's not
Yeah,
very
there you
PC, this podcast, is it? Like, we're definitely going to get cancelled.
plus McCartney definitely needs to just give up. Like it's not good. Like did
I
you see him
somewhat
on the
agree, but I would still go see him, and we did. You know,
Yeah, we
he
did.
did. He sounded.
Well,
I think it's the thing like recorded versus live.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like live because we didn't see him that long ago. It was only a couple of years ago,
Aye.
so it hasn't changed that much. Live, it sounds tremendous. Recorded,
I think-
it doesn't do him any justice.
Yeah.
But when you're
to be
there in the
fair-
atmosphere
Yeah.
and you can feel it, and there's pyros going off, you think, "Oh my god, it's Paul McCartney."
well, we were talking about the Glastonbury set, weren't we, a few episodes back?
Yeah.
Because he played there.
I,
and you can
I'm
really
convinced
tell.
that he's been replaced with a droid because his Glastonbury set was great. I watched it; it was very good. However,
Was very
if
good.
if you go back and watch him in 2012, a decade ago, performing at the Olympics, he should have been better, and it was dreadful. Like if he played the
Right.
closing ceremony or something, and he got everyone to
Yeah.
sing "Hey Jude," and it was the most out of key thing I've ever heard anyone play on live television. It was dreadful. But then I saw his Glastonbury set lately, and it was great. So I'm
Glastonbury set was
convinced
good.
he's dead, and they've just rolled out some robotic.
That's the
AI
second
version
time
of
that
Paul
man's died.
McCartney, right? I'm convinced that Jeff Bezos got paid a lot of money by the British government to maintain morale to make an AI version of Paul McCartney.
Could be.
And
Could have
that's
happened.
who played-
Yeah.
that's,
Can't
that's who
disprove
played
it.
Glastonbury. That's my take.
So that's your Lime Tree Time Machine.
Live Aid. Well, it was mine as well. I mean, it would be tremendous.
I think we all said live Aid.
Yeah.
Is that just because we're
didn't say
musicians?
live.
I can't remember what I said, actually. It's been a good few episodes ago.
Mine was the Carol King one. The
Yeah,
Troubadour.
yours was Carol King.
But did we do ours with Jack Harvey?
Yeah, we did, because
So the first
It was
episode?
the
we
first
had,
ever
yeah.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
that's how long it's been.
Wow.
I know.
That's
Can't remember
crazy.
what it was.
No. I think I
You'll
said...
have to listen
We'll have
to
to
the
have a
podcast
listen
and
back,
watch
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
This is the joys of a podcast, isn't it? You can...
Certainly is.
Yeah. I don't really want to...
As a side note, Scott, this will probably bring you back on my side a bit after the whole Beatles shenanigans. My one thing I am very jealous of you of, and I know it's the obvious answer being from the Northeast, but me and Kelly, my missus, were discussing it. The fact that you've seen Mr. Fender from a lot of his early day gigs
We
is
have.
something I'm
Well,
very
me and
envious
Lyndon.
of.
Yeah, I was there as well.
Well, Scott posted the video, so I'm
That
still
is
good
true.
to Scott. Right?
Yeah, I saw him at the Dog and
so-
well above the Dog and Parrot at what was the Jumping Jacks.
Jumping Jacks, yeah. I guess I saw all that like,
Many,
in
many
the lead
years
up-
ago.
when you went to go see him at the arena and you put them all together, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That must have been amazing to kind of.
Well, there was
but
only
it's
like
It was only him?
only 5 or 6 people in the room, wasn't
Yeah,
there? They
there
were
was,
obviously
it
just
was.
him by himself, no band. It was just him and electric guitar. There was
That's
about
it,
6
the
people in
closest
the
I
room.
got to that was lately because I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't really aware of him when he first got started. I wasn't
Yeah.
really on that train. I only really started listening to him when his first album got big, and me and my missus were out in Rusty's of all places in Newcastle drinking, and they played at Hypersonic Missiles.
Yeah.
And she loved it, Shazammed it while mortal. And then the next day, woke up and it was in our library on Apple Music, and she was like, "Who the hell is this bloke?" and I was like, "I don't know," because I didn't really know much about him at the time. And then I played him, and I was like, "Oh, I've heard him," and I heard his accent. I was like, "He's Geordie," so I googled him, and I was like, that's him." And then, but by that point, the way our trips all worked out, and then COVID came along, and no one was gigging. And then when his UK tour came around, where you guys got to see him, I was here, I was moving away, so I wasn't going to get the chance to see him. So then he announced he was playing some US dates for the first time in a while. And the place I saw him at Irving Plaza in New York, it's like a small venue.
Nice.
I'd compare it to like maybe the Clooney, maybe a bit bigger than the Clooney. So it's only around about a 1,200 capacity, 1,500 capacity venue. But it was just kind of so cool seeing somebody who's like developed because
Yeah,
he's good
definitely.
and he's big now and he's got the whole band and he's got all the great catalogue and he's got it nailed now, but still in an intimate setting. It was something
I bet
else.
it
like,
was lovely. Like I bet it was lush.
I'm very envious of you having seen him that early on. Like
We sort of saw him at like 3 different size venues. 'cause
Well,
the
hard,
first
yeah.
one was like tiny,
Yes.
And then the second one was the
Ship and Forecast in Liverpool.
which was sort of like mid-size, and then we saw the
The
utility
arena.
that it was
And then
just
next it's going to be St James's Park.
yeah, St James's Park. Yeah,
Oh, that'll be
happening, like,
something
it
else.
is
That, like,
happening.
with-
it will happen.
Definitely. Be
that'll be
unreal.
something else.
Who
Could you
posted
imagine
that
his
picture?
intro?
It's on his newsletter. If you sign up, the picture's on his newsletter.
Right. I did wonder because I
you-
went on his profile and it's not on there.
No,
so
it's
I was
not.
like, right.
Could you imagine
Got
the intro when he plays St James's Park when
I
he's
know.
there? When like his intro comes out and all the flags and stuff, that'll be something else. That like.
That would be.
He'll
Wicked.
come out a local hero.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, he does it
Oh,
in
yeah.
the shows
He does
anyway,
it in
but
shows
it's
anyway,
St James's
aye.
Park.
Got you.
All the
He
war
does it whenever he
flags.
plays Newcastle. So.
Quick fire questions.
Right, so this is the first question I've got here. What's the first concert you attended? Jack?
Oh.
Like proper concert, as in proper band, not just
Yeah.
Jimmy down the pub. Iron Maiden with a band called Airborne supporting,
All right.
who basically are AC/DC. So yeah, Iron Maiden, and that was 2011 or 12. So yeah, that was my
Where was it? Did you
the
say?
arena.
Oh, the arena, sorry, aye.
Yeah, on
Mine's really not cool.
Neither's mine, so go
oh,
on.
right, okay. Mine's the
No,
X
mine
Factor
isn't.
live tour
Oh,
in
nice.
2009. The
Sophie, that is
Yeah.
also my answer.
Is
Is it really?
Shut up, man. No,
the,
it's not.
The X Factor Live Tour 2009 at Metal Radio Arena with Chico and Shane Ward.
Oh my god, that means you were there at the same time.
Oh, it was 2000. I was there with. Wait,
Who were you there
maybe
with,
I was there
Sophie?
after. Maybe it was after 2009.
Mine was the
I
year where it
Joe
was Shane
McElderry.
Ward. That's my goal.
Joe McElderry.
Oh, that was after.
Joe
2009,
McElderry was
I think.
2011.
Then I went to the X Factor tour 2011. Yeah, Joe McElderry was there.
Well,
Yeah.
we know yours, Alex. We know yours now. What about you?
Sorry.
Well,
Brendan?
that kind of reveals mine, but well, I say that it's
Oh, go
one
on.
of two answers, and they were both in 2009, and I was a kid, so I don't actually remember. It was either the X Factor Live Tour 2009 with Shane Ward and It's Chico Time. What a tragic year that was. Or it was also in 2009. I went to go see Westlife in Metal Ridge Arena, who I do have no shame in saying are my favourite boy band. They're fantastic. You know, they're just
It's a
great.
good segue into mine, which is a boy band. My first one was Take That.
Yeah, do you know, I knew you were going to say that.
I don't know when, many years ago, but
I was going to say, did your mum drag you? But you probably went by your
no,
own
I
accord.
dragged my mum. I think it was that.
Which one was it?
I don't know. I think
Was it 2011?
Which tour was it? Who was there? Because that's
was
the
Robbie
term.
there?
the
Was
support
Robbie
was,
there? That's a big
the support was
question.
LA.
No, but who was there? Was Robbie there?
Oh, that's a
No,
point. What
it
line
was
was
just the three of them.
Oh, it was
So
T3.
it was after Jason left.
Is that at the arena?
Yes.
I was at that one too.
Oh, there you go.
My first tick, that one was the one where Robbie joined for the 5.
Oh,
and
the
so it's
Progress
similar.
tour.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen them once, and it was when Robbie came back in and he flew through the screen for "Let Me Entertain You" and stuff and whatever else. That's the
Sounds
only
good.
take back tour I've ever
You
seen.
Yeah.
didn't take that.
I've not actually.
I've
No,
actually got tickets.
a good
for,
show, like.
I've got tickets for Gary Barlow next month at the Tyne Theatre.
Gary Barlow.
We're like 4 rows from the front. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm trying to think what mine was.
Oh, so quick
that
question,
real?
because I've never met anybody who likes Gary Barlow, and I also like Gary Barlow.
I love Gary
So,
Barlow. He's one of my favourite singers ever.
What's your favourite song off his debut album, the Since I Saw You Last album that he put out a couple of years back when he
Well,
first went solo?
I like Requiem.
Yes. Me, it's Face to Face with Elton John.
That is a
that's
good
the one
song
I
as
was
well.
Gonna say, actually, yeah.
I like Since I
Absolutely.
Saw You Last as well. That is a good song.
Since I Saw You Last, and I also like Sixth Avenue, but I'm a bit biased because that one's about a long distance relationship, so I'm a bit biased on that
yeah.
one. It's-
And the whole
yeah,
album's great, so I could pick any song really.
great album.
Alex, I'd like to point out you're wrong because Joe McElderry won the X Factor in 2009. So I'm afraid
Did
your tour is a bit earlier. I was
So
right.
what,
Alex,
so what one did I go to then?
Did Shane Ward win?
I don't know. I don't know who won. I just know.
Well-
I just knew he was there.
Right,
Well,
I'll
then-
find out for you.
Well, that.
2005.
Jeez.
Oh, well, that's what it was then. 2005. That was my
Wow.
first
There you
concert.
go.
My mum took me.
How old would you have been? 7.
7.
Yeah,
aye.
something like that. My mum
Bloody hell.
took me along to that because she wanted to go see Shane Ward, and I'd been singing at Chico Time for the past 2 months.
That's the next cover for the Lime Tree session.
Yes. I was trying to think what mine was, and I remembered it whilst we were talking
What?
there. The Wiggles. It's City Hall.
The Wiggles.
Next
the
question.
Wiggles.
It was genuinely.
wait.
I had to think there, and I was
Moving
talking about
on.
how old I was.
Scott, did you ever go see the Singing Kettle live?
I did
Oh,
not.
no, here we
Hey,
go.
did you? Were you
What?
a singing kettle?
The Singing Kettle live was one of the best moments of my childhood, and I don't
Oh,
want to hear any.
I went every single year. It was amazing.
So good, Soph. It was
You're gonna have to
fantastic.
tell us and the viewers what that is.
Wait,
It's
what's
like-
the
it's-
singing kettle?
It's like a
Listeners even.
children's music show, and it was put on at Whitley Bay Playhouse.
Uh-huh.
It's like I think they're Scottish, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like the Wiggles, but way better. It's basically what the singing kettle is.
All right.
It's class. Oh, it was
Doesn't
like-
sound it, mind.
I had all the DVDs, the Cuddly Ties, all of it.
It's one of those like shows where clearly the producers were on so many drugs that there's no point in just trying to explain it to you. You need to go and just YouTube it and see what it was and go, I can see how that would entertain a 6-year-old.
I actually
Okay.
got up on stage with them as a volunteer once.
No,
dressed,
did you? No, you-
dressed as a duck. No, I did, but I didn't
You're-
make the DVD.
Yeah, you remembered it wrong.
But I was a duck.
For years, right? Soph kept telling me, "Oh, I'm in a DVD, of the singing kettle," and I'm like, "What the hell is a singing kettle for a start, right?" But like, she went, "Oh, I'm in the DVD," and then it turns out she's not in the DVD. She remembered it wrong.
Well, I was like 5. Give some
That
credit.
Give her a
bit
break.
of a letdown. That like you're watching the whole DVD, skipping through. Oh, there I should be. I'm not there.
I know,
Where
but
am
I was a
I've been
duck.
cut.
I did get to go on stage dressed as a duck.
I think your mum, right, like said, "Oh, you'll be on the DVD. You're on the DVD," and like for years
That's
you just
probably what
assumed you
happened.
were.
Yeah, she's like, "That's you."
That's you. It's like some lass with black hair. It's not you, clearly.
Everyone knows
That does
just as
sound
a
quite
duck.
sad. I apologize.
Right, I have a next question.
Go on then.
If you could change your name, what would it be, Jack?
I like my first name. My next name's a bit. My next name? My last name. Well, this is the thing. Like, my last name is pronounced Milcrease, and no one knows how to spell or pronounce it because it's a bit of a doozy. It's from the Isle of Man. But I think I spoke about this before, that like being an artist, I decided not to change it because it becomes incredibly easy to find me, because I am like the only Jack Milcrease online. I think there's maybe a couple of others, but I am the only musician, and I'm easy to, if you type my name in, you find me immediately. So it's good for marketing.
Aye.
But realistically, I would probably change my name to something way cooler.
Like what?
perfect.
Do you know who's got a great name?
Who?
They mention it on the Grand Tour quite a lot. What's his name? Max Venturi, who works for like Land
Oh, the
Rover.
Lamborghini tester.
Yeah, the Lamborghini.
Yeah, that
tester.
is a cool name.
Yeah, Max Venturi. Or do you remember that Simpsons episode where he changed his name to Max Power?
Oh, yeah.
That's probably what I'd go with.
Sophie, what about you?
I don't know. I quite like my name. I
Fair
quite
enough.
like.
You're not going to change it to
Sophie.
Milcrease then when we get married?
No.
No.
You're gonna have to change to Purvis.
No, we're just going to equally
Just
not
leave it
change
as
it.
it is.
Just leave it as it
I
is.
wanted to do a thing where we could join, like,
Can you
conjoin
not double
them.
barrel it?
Like
could do.
perv creased.
Oh, maybe not.
See, it's funny
Oh,
you say that
Milvis.
because
Milcrease Purvis.
Because I don't want.
Milvis. Sounds so old, doesn't it?
I don't. I don't necessarily want to be milk crease. Just for the.
Oh.
Just because I don't want to spell it out.
Oh.
But like.
It's the
I've-
burden that comes with it.
Yeah, but
It's
I quite
funny you
like.
say.
I don't mind Purvis, so.
It's funny you say that stuff because me and the missus had a not for the same reason, but we had a bit of a dispute because she didn't take my name when we got married, and I was quite insulted by that fact because I've got a wonderful
really?
last name. But she because her name's Kelly with an I, right? So she's Kelli, and her last name is Durr, just Durr. It's German, so she's just Kelly Durr. But her middle name is Anne. But her mother, for like a good 18 years, was adamant that it was double-barreled, like Kelly Ann. And it's not. Legally, on a certificate, it's not. But Kelly was always raised being told that it was. And so that's what it is on our Facebook and everything for when she made it. Mm-hmm. So we always said when we get married, how pretty does Kelly Ann Williams sound? You sound like a princess. And then, like a month or two before we got married, she suddenly decided that she wasn't changing her name. And I was like, excuse me. So
See, I don't think it's really that much of a done thing. I don't think it's weird to keep your
No, it's
original
not.
names anymore.
Well, no, that's it. Like, we agreed that if she's not taking mine, I definitely wasn't taking hers because I'm not going to Alexander Durr. That's not happening.
But it doesn't
So-
make it doesn't make
Alexander Durr.
it doesn't make you any
Alexander.
less married though. You know what I mean? You've still made the
Definitely,
commitment,
aye.
which is the main thing.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's more the fact that at the wedding you can't do the whole Mr. and Mrs. surname. You lose the ability to say that because you've got two different surnames.
I know,
still,
but
so.
I don't really like that as a thing anyway because it's
You just
like
change
the
the-
whole thing of the woman has to take the man's name and everything. I just think it's an old tradition.
Yeah.
But
It is an older tradition. That's what we're saying. It was kind of over here. It's not as common as it is back home. Back home, I think it's really common. Like even people our age, when they get married now, tend to do it. But over here, it's not as common. So it wasn't looked at as weird over here when she didn't take it.
I'll decide closer to the time. Or you can decide whenever you want. You know what I mean? There's
Um,
nothing saying
um,
after 10 years of you being married, you can change your name.
I'm happy for Milkreese to die with me. It's fine.
Well,
Perfect
we're not
it
having
is.
kids, so it's just fine. It's no problem with us.
Well, there you go.
Fair enough. Lyndon, what would you change yours to?
I like my name.
Yeah,
I'm-
I think your name's cool.
I am one of a kind.
I would
Yeah.
say your last name's harder to spell out.
Nah,
than
you stop at
Jack's.
every I. Philliski.
I've
But I
always
wouldn't know how to say it though. Like,
I've always been able to spell your name. Apart from that, I always put one L instead of two. I know
Yeah,
it's two,
that's common.
That's the main
but
thing.
apart from that, I knew how to spell it off the bat.
Yeah.
So-
It's
I
not
can
too
I can
difficult.
pronounce yours really easily, Lyndon, but I won't lie. When I first started working with you, I would routinely forget it and have to go.
You called him Lindsay one time.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been called worse. It's fine.
And,
My
and
auntie's called
and
Lindsay.
I was like, I'd be typing it out, and I'd have to like remember what it was. I'd have to.
I mean,
like,
I know
think
it's a
about
male
it.
and a female
And
name, but still.
it's funny because just the other day, me and Jack were on the phone, and I said I was typing something to you, and I went, I finally remembered how to like just get Linda's name off hand. It's
Stuck
finally
there now. No, I like my name.
Oh,
My
fair
middle
enough.
name's William as well. I like that.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Good name. Good name.
Scott.
Well, I'd like to keep your surname, but I've always thought a first name because mine's a bit dull, isn't it? Scott,
I like Scott.
a bit dull. Well, like the name Harrison.
No.
Harrison.
Yeah, but
Or
Harrison's
if I had a kid,
surname.
I'd call me kid Harrison.
Right.
You get Harry though.
Darried? I just think it's a cool name, Harrison. So there you go.
Isn't Harrison more of a surname, though?
No, you can have it as a first
Traditionally,
name.
yes, because it's the son of Harrison.
But
Like the
some
son of
people-
Harry, rather.
Yeah, but you could have
Harrison.
Harrison Ford.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, but
I think
he's
Harrison's
American.
a
He
good
doesn't
name.
count.
It
No.
does. Right.
They've got
Are you
weird
picking
names
us
over
up on
here.
this? Oh, this is my favourite name, this.
Your
No, no.
favourite name?
It is.
Harrison.
I love it.
Saying something about my favorite name, like.
Yeah.
It's funny because I used to hate my name growing up because it was always weird. Because how many Alexes do you know going to school? You know what I mean?
Loads
so
of them.
there was way too many of them, and so it was always which one do you mean? And then they'd have to say my full name, which when I was a kid I hated because
Yeah.
it wasn't cool to be like a fancy name, especially when you live in the northeast of England and everyone's called things like Jack. You know?
Were there any more people in your
Cheers.
years at school called
and
what
so-
you are called?
I
Not my
had
No.
name.
That's what my street called,
I was an
Scott.
Alexander. There was an
We're best
Alex
friends.
hyphenated name. There was an Alexandra. And it was just kind of like I always hated the Alexander name, so I'd always just say Alex, like to all my new teachers and stuff. And then my middle name's Campbell because I'm Scottish, so that's why I've got that name from my grandmother or something. So I always hated it. I was like, just don't say my name, just call me Alex. But now it's coming back. It's kind of partly because of Hamilton. That's kind of brought it into public name Alexander, but it's becoming popular again. So I don't hate it as much as I used to. So I think I'd keep it now. But if you'd asked me when I was 15, I would have scrapped it because I hated it.
Oh, there you go.
Interesting.
So okay, so here's an idea, guys. If you had 2 weeks, unlimited money, and budget wasn't a problem, where would you spend your time in the world, and who with?
Me first?
Yeah, you go first.
In this moment, Australia with Soph, and would do like a massive tour. Would go safari and would just do everything. Would be great. Try and do all of Australia, which is a task, but I reckon if you went somewhere every day, you could probably cover all the major cities. Yeah. Soph?
I would go. How long have we got? 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I would fly to Miami for a week.
What's that song? Fly to my no.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't
We're
know.
going to Ibiza.
I'd fly to Miami, stay there for a week, and then go on a Caribbean cruise. That's what I would do.
And who would you take?
Nice.
I thought you were going to say somebody else. Thank you, Lyndon.
I'd try and go to as many sort of European cities as I could
Yeah.
by myself.
Yeah. I quite fancy a solo travel, right?
Jack's been talking about going on holiday by himself for like 2 weeks now, and
I
I'm
don't mind
getting
going
worried that
places
he's
by myself.
not
Doesn't
going to
bother me at
invite
all.
us.
He's just gonna vanish one day, you know.
He says it as a joke all the time. Like, oh, we could just go on your own, and I'm like, well,
Scott, where would
I'd
you
make a
go?
bit
I'll come with
partner.
you.
Wait.
I quite like the idea of doing the NC 500
I would like
in
to
a
do
camper.
that. Yeah.
That's what I would do with the money. I know I don't need as much as you've said, unlimited money, whatever. It wouldn't cost that much. But I would just
Fuel.
love to do it.
Fuel though.
Oh, fuel at the moment, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming down, but anyway. Yeah, that's what I would do. Rent a camper.
I'm
And-
staying in the Ritz every night.
I was going to say it was unlimited money. Yeah.
Do
How
the
about staying in
NC
a camper
500.
van?
I don't know. watched umpteen videos of it on YouTube, people doing it, and it's just I want to do it.
I would like to
I
do.
want my own camper.
Yeah, I would like to do the Grand Tours version where it's a little bit shorter.
I know.
But
what you mean,
it's still like you still get the views and stuff, and it's kind of cool that it's where they went, but it's just
Definitely,
a little bit shorter. So,
I like the fact that you can go anywhere in the world and you want to go to Scotland.
yeah.
yeah.
I just love
Hey, don't do
the
Scotland.
countryside.
What about you, Alex?
Campbell.
So right in this moment, given that I'm A, missing European culture, B, have no friends, and C, bored, I would spend the first week traveling around the Asian Disney resorts because I've said in my life I want to go to all the Disneys at least once because I love
That is a
Disney World.
tangent I was not
Right.
expecting.
Right, I've always wanted to go. I've loved Disney World, and I've been to the one in Paris. I've been to the one in Florida multiple times, and I've been to the one in Anaheim, the original. But I haven't been to the one in Tokyo, Shanghai, or Hong Kong. So I want to go to them at some point. So
What's that got to do with missing home?
the first week I'd go to those, and then the second week, after I've done all that traveling, I'm going to be starving. So I'd go to Italy and spend a whole week eating the best garlic bread in the world.
Oh, I'd love to go to Italy as well.
And I'd do all of this with the three couples. I'd take me and my missus, Jack and Soph, and Lyndon and Scott.
I fucking knew that was coming.
and we'd just go around and we'd have a nice time because, you know, me and you know, we could all break off and do little date nights if we'd like, you know, just and then meet up. I think it'd be good because I'm missing socialising, so I'd like to see everybody, you know, not to get soft, but I would. And first week I'd spend, like I say, Disney hopping in Asia. Second week in Italy, eating cracking Italian food. And then come
Scott,
home.
how come you didn't take Lyndon's name when you got married?
Yeah.
Well, I can't think of a better way than to end the podcast. Thank you very much for listening to the Lime Tree Sessions podcast with me, Jack Milcreast,
Ben Foskirk.
Scott Charlton.
Sophie Purvis.
and our guest all the way from New Jersey, Alex Williams.
Bye very much, guys. Bye very much.
We'll have you back on. Talking some more. I nearly
Waffle.
swore there, and I'm not allowed to swear
you
anymore.
can't swear.
I'm not allowed
Your
to swear
mother will
anymore.
have
Has
you.
anyone sworn?
You're live
yet?
on Channel 5. Please do not swear.
I might have.
We have sworn, but
Have we?
it might be the bits that we cut
Someone's
out.
got to have said fuck at least once.
Well, you did.
There we go.
There we go. Anyway, we'll be in your ears next week. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, guys.